moving again at Detroit, Michigan, the first Detroit Grand Prix. They're on a pace lap. The restart of the race will be exactly the same as the original start. They will take this pace lap, they will return to the starting grid and stop completely. They will then be given a red light, followed by a green light, and they will be racing again from a standing start, the traditional way that a Formula One race is started. Now here you see cars that are out of the race. We only have 18 cars still running, quite surprisingly, because we've only had 6 laps of racing so far. You see Winkelhock, who was in an incident, the Cesaris, Patrese of Italy, Guerrero, who spun and presumably and apparently is the one that caused the accident, that stopped the race, red flagged the race. There have been no injuries. There have been no major accidents of any kind. Look at the Renaissance Center in the background, the normal traffic on the freeway, which goes over and under the race course, really.
Very impressive racetrack indeed. A great home for a Grand Prix here in Detroit, Motor City, the capital of the motor industry around the world, and still is. And look at that Renaissance Center there, and this tunnel, which is so reminiscent of Monaco. The resilience in there for the cars, and remember they're on a pace lap right now. Many of the drivers are warming their tires back up again, warming the brakes up a little bit, as well as the engines and transmissions, as we said in our original pace lap. Remember, we were only into the race, only 6 laps in that race. They will be starting in their positions that they finished in, the 1 lap prior to the red flag being shown. And Alain Prost, leader in the World Championship, also leader in this race at this time.
Okay, now they will move onto the starting grid, remember, one more time, in the order in which they stood when the red flag went out. So it'll be Prost in the yellow and white car. In the green and white car, on the other side of the first row, will be Keke Rosberg of Finland. In the second row, the red car, Pironi of France, driving the Italian Ferrari. Mansell in the John Player Lotus. You'll see that in a moment. That'll be black with gold trim. But there is the race leader, Alain Prost, by 3.2 seconds. The winner will be determined on total running time, not necessarily on who is simply in front when the race is completed. Now, we're waiting for the... We got the red light and the green light. They're racing again. It will be 75 laps or 2 hours of actual running time, whichever comes first. Almost unquestionably, that will be the 2 hours of total running time. So far, they have run only a little over 11 minutes. It's still Prost of France, but Rosberg of Finland right on his tail. Rosberg must take the lead by more than 3.2 seconds from Prost in order to be the true leader in the race.
Alain Prost taking advantage on that very first corner. It was almost a drag race to that first corner, followed very closely by Keke Rosberg. He's in the Ford engine, remember, the normally aspirated engine against the turbocharged Renault. Then comes the Ferrari, and after him, in fact, comes Bruno Giacomelli and the Alfa Romeo, which seem busy traffic jam around this 30-mile-an-hour corner. Very difficult, and they're coming together here.
Problem in the hairpin. I can't make out that number.
Well, they're all right. They're still in good shape, and off they go, hustling themselves round there. Rene Arnaud has come up there as well. Looks like a piece of fiberglass came off there, but Alain Prost taking his advantage again from Keke Rosberg. Prost in the yellow and white car, Rosberg in the green and white car, number 6, immediately following him there. It seems that Prost hasn't opened quite the gap that he did in the very first lap.
That one particular place, Jackie, is the most frightening thing to the unschooled eye, because it looks like everybody's going to hit that little point of the wall. But obviously it looks like they take aim on that, but plan to be very, very close to it to have the correct line.
Well, precision's the name of the game in road racing. The driver has to be very exact, and when you're running... Oh, and look at that! Rosberg really slid out to the outside of that barrier. Sometimes it's concrete, other times metal barriers. Now coming back towards the Renaissance, going down towards the Detroit River once again, with all the yachts sitting out there trying to get a good view of this remarkable event. Alain Prost, and you can see how bumpy that car is, with little or no suspension along these streets that have been designed only on this occasion for the Grand Prix, but normally for our street cars.
Another look at the standings, and Cheever of the United States is still in 6th place. Detroit Grand Prix. There is Prost. You see the margin between him and Keke Rosberg. So Prost is beginning to move it out just a little bit. And remember, as long as he is in front of Rosberg by anything, he's a good 3 seconds ahead.
Any further advantage he can take at this time, of course, will be to his advantage later if he has to go a little bit easier because of brakes or tyres. And Keke Rosberg earlier, if you did not see it, was suggesting that there may be a little complication for these cars in the lead, at least the lead car, both with regards to brakes and tyres. Mansell and the Lotus is up there.